Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. Coming at you with a new video about the Sandlot League Grand Finals. So we were invited by Scann and VDawg to participate in one of the biggest community collaborations amongst content creators in the MLB The Show community. There's been a couple of these leagues so far. I got a chance to commentate in the first one because I didn't have time to play, but I did get a chance to play in this one. We had 48 different content creators, give or take a few, all in different custom leagues and playing each other with some rivals. And it was just a really cool experience. And we ended up taking top 4 in our division and getting knocked out in the playoffs. However, we were able to sneak in a wild card situation. There were some slots open for the grand finals on Saturday, March 20th, which was last Saturday. And that gave us an opportunity to make our way through a bracket of some really good players, including division winners and a lot of good players through the other divisions. So going into these finals, I wasn't really sure what to expect. We played some good players. All those games will be on Scann's broadcast, as well as some other direct broadcasts from my opponents, Slick Baker, Tourney, and Real Trash Panda. I'll have all their links in the description, and anything that you want to find the full versions of, you'll be able to find in the description. And if you don't see them directly on the VODs, then just check the highlights as well in case they were archived. And what we're going to be doing today in this video is going over our grand finals matchup. It was a series of best of 3 against my good friend Kyle23. He was the one broadcasting it. I asked for permission to use his video. We're going to go and look at the final games of the entire tournament. Once again, best of 3. If you guys know me and Kyle pretty well, we've played each other like dozens of times. And anytime I'm in a tournament, Kyle's usually in the tournament too. We're always looking for a chance to play each other either in the tournament at some point or hopefully in a finals of a tournament. And that's exactly what happens here. Kyle has been in the finals of a lot of tournaments this year. He's been looking for the elusive grand finals that gets him a cash prize, and the cash prize for this league was $300. So $250 for number 1 and $50 for number 2. So at the time that we were playing each other, we had each secured $50 from the tournament, and we were trying to play for another $200. So we're not going to be watching the whole thing because it's, hours long, but we're going to be going through the highlights of what I think was most interesting from these games. And oh my goodness, there was really good commentary as well from Healy and Paul Cini. So if you guys want to check that on Scann's stream as well. I didn't see any of the commentary while I was playing the games, but I did go back and watch Kyle's commentary. I watched the main commentary from the other guys. So I've watched this a couple times now because, well, I'll explain later. I've got my camera in a bit of a different place today as well because I'm just covering up Kyle's reactions, but you can of course watch that on his side. But I'm in front of his camera right now, so you might see his head poking through a couple times. So this first inning was insane. I'm gonna probably go to like 1.5 speed first of all, and then we're gonna be skipping through a little bit as well. So first batter was Tatis. He put in James Paxton. So when I saw James Paxton in Ship It, I was licking my chops. So I love hitting James Paxton. This is Prestige Paxton, but a lot of people like using him, but I love hitting against him. So I was ready for him for sure. And as you can see right here, low and away, I think that was a perfect. Let's take a look. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the feedbacks exactly. Yeah, that was a perfect swing. So we get on the board first. Yeah, early swing, but we did piece it up. I will say all my swings early in this game were actually pieced up very well. As you see, a hanging sinker down the middle. Oscar Hernandez, 94. Card goes deep to right center. So we got that 3-0 lead. Now, Robinson Cano goes yak as well, lefty. I was hitting pretty well lefty this day. And now it's 4-0 here in the bottom of, or the top of the second. On an 0-2 pitch, he throws a pretty good cutter here, but I get the hands in and turn on it. So we get a 5-0 lead here in the top of the first. I think that's all we got here. I think Daniel Murphy makes it out. Actually, it looks like he gets on base. And then Corbin Burns makes the out. Okay. So Kyle doesn't do anything here. I actually have a really good pitching inning here. Throw some pretty good dots. So we're feeling pretty good after the first inning. But it is Ship It. Anything can happen there. So we head to the second. He keeps in James Paxton. The rule was that you can't bring in a starter until extra innings. 2 outs here in the second. I'm trying to get a mercy as soon as possible. You can only get a mercy after 4. So we're trying to put as many runs as possible, and Teo goes yard there. So he's got 2 home runs in 2 innings. So we get 1 run in the second. He again gets nothing in the second with some decent PCIs there. So what happens in the third inning is we put up more runs. We get a Robinson Cano yak. Another good swing, lefty. Cano's got 2 home runs in 3 innings. Daniel Murphy, I said we were doing well lefty-lefty, right? We've already got 3 lefty-lefty homers now. Kyle has no answer at this point. We have a 9-0 lead. So we started off the game real hot. Even Corbin Burns about to get a base hit up the middle, followed by another Tatis base hit up the middle on a pitch low and out of the zone. But that's just a fact of, you know, reduced confidence from James Paxton, I think. But we end up rolling up a double play here, as we could have taken a, you know, 10+ run lead with a base hit. Kyle starts to get momentum in his favor. So we got a 9-0 lead. Ship it, doesn't matter. Kyle's a really good player. He plays most of his games on Legend these days. So you know he's going to put up a fight. I think, yeah. Trout somehow makes an out here. On Ship It, that usually leaves, but he does get a perfect with Mantle. So he gets on the board. Soto with the base hit. Jimmy Fox with a home run. So now it is 9-4. All of a sudden, it's a ball game. 5 runs and Ship It. You feel very, not comfortable, but like you definitely feel, if you're a good player, that you can come back. So all the pressure was on him at this point. I just needed to put a couple of runs. We didn't lock it down in the 3rd or 4th. Unfortunately, this was the big one right here. Trout barely missed a home run last time. And there we hung a curveball. A common theme against Mike Trout is hanging curveballs against him, unfortunately. And all of a sudden, after, you know, 2 innings, he puts up 7 unanswered. See, when I was in that situation, though, when I was up 9-0, I knew he was going to come back. I knew he was going to put up runs 100%. I didn't really think I was going to mercy him. I didn't really believe that. I also have a history of blowing 9-run leads. I've blown 2, and I've come back from down 9-0 in tournaments this year. So it was definitely not something that I thought was automatic. But we get some more runs here against Brad Hand. Another lefty-lefty homer for Daniel Murphy. And here we almost roll into a double play. Let's take a look at this one, because this was really interesting. This should have been tailor-made. Weird little stab animation from Mondesi. He didn't get the momentum towards second base. So that was just enough for Tatis to get there at first base. And yeah, we managed to hit a home run right afterwards. You know that's going to happen. Whenever those double plays that should turn don't get turned, that's what happens. Feeling a little bit better, because usually if I blow a lead, I stop hitting. But thankfully, I kept up the bats even after we gave up all those runs. Correa comes up, hits a sac fly to right field. Doesn't really get behind the ball. So I knew with a good jump I could get there even with 51 speed. Now we got another 7-run lead. So we got that lead from 9, blew that lead, gave up 7, got 7 more of our own. And now we're feeling pretty good. Keith Folk was dicing and then finally gives up a homer to, I believe that was Eloy off the bench. Back-to-back with Trout. He brings in Chapman. Gets me out really quick in the top of the 7th. I bring in Kinsler, who I feel like should be better for me than he is, but I seem to hang a lot of pitches with him. Kind of unfortunate. He gets a little dribbler through the infield, which after some of the swings I had, can't really feel bad about that one. And then Jimmy Fox goes yard, so it's now a 3-run lead again. Mondesi gets one in the corner. And then this was a brutal one for me. This one couldn't happen. This was tough. You see that PCI there? Very early. Kyle can't believe it either. Oh, man. That very early good with Robbie Cano on the edge of the PCI away. But that gives him that gets him within 1, so that was a pretty brutal one for me. But after some of the bad results on good PCIs he had earlier, I can't really feel too bad about it at this point. During the game, I definitely did, because I didn't realize some of the really good swings that he didn't get rewarded for. So I don't feel too bad about it now, although I did during the game. Now here it's a 14-13 game. I hang one right down the middle with a Chapman. Shipper ties it up. So we got a tie game going to the top of the 8th. Who would have believed it? I believe I had 14 going into the 9th, so I don't think I did anything here. He's got an opportunity to take the lead. He's the home team and Ship It, so like that's really tough. Lee Smith so far gives up that double, and then the Juan Soto home run. This one was tough. Hung the slider really, really badly. So he takes the lead 16-14. And now this is where it gets super, super weird. So he's got 2 runners on, not the greatest swings, but good enough, hits him hard. We bring in Raleigh Fingers, and I think on the first pitch, breaks his bat, shatters it. He whiffs the catch. Then he tries to pick it up, and then the fielder comes out of nowhere from like second base, glitches over there, and can't do anything about it. So I'm rattled right here. I'm absolutely rattled. We got bases loaded, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Let's watch this at bat. Misses a couple pitches with Piazza, and then here I threw a 4-seam fastball. This is a useful tip for anybody who likes to throw sinkers. If you throw that 4-seam fastball a little bit low, but not at the bottom of the zone, when you have a sinker, that PCI that you see right there is perfectly placed for a sinker, but he gets under it with a fastball. So we get the out, and then we get the double play. So that was pretty clutch right there. And we got the top of the 9th. Kenley's still in the game. Trying to go against the shift with Jacob Stallings here. Didn't make it happen. I think he actually strikes me out up and in. Yep. Still fighting off, still taking some pitches. I had decent discipline in this tournament. And then we finally smashed one to the right side. Just a good swing. Staying with the baseball, not trying to hit a home run in that situation. That leaves it for Daniel Murphy here with 1 out in the 9th inning. He hangs the sinker down the middle, and we tie it up in the top of the 9th. It was a bit of a wall scraper, but Daniel Murphy was correct for me, and we tie it up. Unfortunately, we don't have the greatest at-bats going forward with these last 2 guys here. I thought I was going to get to this ball with Tatis. He ends up popping it up. I didn't have a good swing on it. It was fairly popped, but I was looking for that pitch. I got it, and I missed it. That hurt pretty bad. Then we bring in Nick Anderson, who a lot of people don't like, but I've been good with. Thankfully, Kyle didn't have Freddie Galvis on the bench. He brings in Jackie Robinson, who grounds out to shortstop on a 2-0 pitch, I believe. Yep. And then he brings in Mike Trout. This was a tough at bat here because he goes 1-0. Then I throw a pitch. I didn't throw the sinker again. He's looking for a sinker there, I believe. He's looking low and away. He turns on this fastball, but I didn't think he'd be looking for it again. I really didn't. He turned on the fastball. Then I threw the sinker in almost exactly the same spot. I didn't think he would be able to react to it twice in a row, but he absolutely did. So we start off 9-0. We blow the lead. He gets a walk-off homer with Mike Trout. So after all that, trying to play for $250, that's definitely a choke. That's definitely a choke. So that felt really bad. I tried to hop into the next game immediately. He needed a break after that one. I can't blame him.